Welcome back to Perspectives on Arise News. Being in a reality show is an intense, eye-opening experience that throws you into the public eye, testing your limits, shaping your identity, and giving you a platform. But the untold story of life after Big Brother Nigeria, for instance, reveals a world beyond the glitz and glamour of the show, where housemates face both the rewards and challenges of sudden fame. While the spotlight provides them with massive social media followings, endorsement deals, and new career opportunities, it also exposes them to intense public scrutiny. Life after the house can be overwhelming, with many housemates struggling to maintain relevance in an ever-evolving entertainment industry. Ultimately, life after Big Brother Nigeria is a complex journey of personal reinvention, resilience, and the pursuit of longevity in an industry that moves fast and often forgets quickly. Today, we would explore the untold stories of some former housemates, examining the challenges they have faced and the opportunities they have seized as they transitioned away from the limelight. We'll bring you all the details after this short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Perspectives on Arise News. It's time to meet our guest on the show this morning. Nwachukwu is a dynamic TV personality and actor who first rose to fame as Nigeria's representative on Big Brother Africa 3, where his playful and teasing nature made him stand out. His charm and charisma earned him a second chance in the spotlight, and in 2010, he returned for Big Brother Africa 5 All-Stars, this time emerging as the ultimate winner, solidifying his place as a fan favorite across the continent. We also have Olusemo, popularly known as Shex. He's a London-based professional footballer, actor, and rising Instagram sensation. In Big Brother Nigeria Season 7, Level Up, which premiered in July 2022, Shex made waves both on the reality show and across social media, where his growing influence continues to captivate audiences. So we'll be right back soon with you, and we would welcome, as we are welcoming the two guests that we have today with us. I think Erica is supposed to be around somewhere, so it'd be good to bring her in. So welcome to Perspectives.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's start with you, UT. How has life changed for you since the reality show? And how difficult was it for you to transition from the life in Big Brother house to your normal life?
Okay, first question, how's life been for me since then? I would say the platform definitely changed my life. Like, it took me from being a dreamer in my house and on my bed to actually living out the things I dreamt of doing. So initially, for me, it was never about winning. I just went on the show to say, okay, this is what I can do. Almost like free advertisement for my talents and all of that. As far as staying relevant, right? I also never thought about it, like to say, oh, I must be relevant, I must have longevity. I was just basically taking one day at a time. And I think I was lucky enough to spot opportunities. And the first opportunity that came my way was when I was called to audition for Jara. Okay. You know, and also from watching previous housemates and previous seasons, you know, it's very easy to get carried away, especially when you win.
Yes.
Sometimes when you don't win, it's, you know, the hustle spirit comes from nowhere because you're like, I have to make this work, you know? So for me, I was like, okay, this is an opportunity. I've just won. What's next? So that's why when the opportunity came, because I went to Africa Magic and I told them, if you have any shows, put me on the audition list. And now I was auditioned alongside like all of the big names back then. So it was very surprising when they called on Helen and I to audition again and again. Yeah, so for me, I think that was the first wise step I took. That was just grace, because I mean, I could have easily passed it over to say, this one is not as much as the winning money now, because you know it's very easy to get in your head and buy your own hype and all of that. And you know, Jara went on to be on air for 11 years, 11 seasons.
Yes.
So that helped me, because I stayed on TV every single week sometimes 3 times a week when they repeat the shows, of course.
So you were
for
constantly
11
in
years.
public awareness?
Yes, I was constantly in people's faces.
Let's get to Segun.
Yeah.
Now, Segun, some people think that most people enter into the house for opportunities that might arise, for maybe things that they might win, and maybe, you know, even if they don't win, they will come out and have a larger opportunity to make something of themselves. But there's also this belief that if you come from a privileged background, do you understand? You don't need to be there. You don't need the money. You don't need the fame. So is it true that children from rich backgrounds, privileged backgrounds, are judged unfairly by viewers?
I think most definitely. I think we are judged unfairly, and I think for me, it's a situation where whatever's your parents or your grandparents or your great-grandparents, it's not necessarily yours. Me personally, it's important for me to make my name, to build my stamp, and have a legacy. Do you know what I'm trying to say? For generations unborn. So I'm not really here to focus on what my parents may or may not have done, or what my grandparents may or may not have done. I think it's very important for them to give us an opportunity to show ourselves, like, yes, you might be privileged, but nobody chooses how they're born. Do you know what I mean, Auntie? So I think it's a situation for me personally where I feel like now it's slowly changing though. I feel like after people seeing, I think there's been a few of us now. I think maybe before it was different. Like the show was different in general, the type of like characters and type of people that they took on the show.
It's a broader...
Yeah, so now I think like they're picking from a broader pool.
Yeah,
so
broader pool.
People are getting used to seeing people from completely different backgrounds. And I think it makes the show more interesting because it's like when you're in a house with people that you've all come from different backgrounds, I think it's kind of fun for the viewers because of how I'm thinking might be different to how the person across from me is thinking and etc.
Okay, it's good that you say that, and it's good that you talk about adding value to the show, because some people would believe that a show like reality, BBN, a reality show like BBN does not add value to the audience in the sense that they need it. How do you think they can make it more educational, more informative, more aspiring? What worthwhile pursuits can be included in the show to encourage entrepreneurial values, for instance?
Okay, first things, I feel like being in Nigeria, we've already seen that people are normally jealous of things that they want but can't get. So people will always find fault as long as they don't have the same opportunities that you have. Because I feel it's quite harsh and mean to say that the show doesn't add value to anyone's life.
No, when we say value...
I mean like the people that say that.
Yes, because what kind of tasks, for instance... Because I remember there was an incident where general knowledge questions were asked. I can't remember which episode it was, and most of them failed woefully.
Okay, so that's not a reflection.
How do you now bring in guests?
But that's not a reflection of the show. That's a reflection of the housemates.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. That how do you now bring in guests, for instance, or set tasks that would test their educational
Which is exactly what they did, but the housemates, because the show is not responsible for your background. The show is not responsible for your educational prowess.
But you can bring in tasks that can educate them.
Which is what they do. So they always educate the housemates most times, and those questions that they ask most times are based on how they've been educated before the task. Okay. And you see, for us, I feel like even as a regular human being, right? Every day is a learning opportunity.
Yes,
walking into this building was a learning opportunity for me. Meeting Shags in the waiting room was a learning opportunity for both of us. So it's not the show's responsibility to train you.
But do you think they can set educational... I mean, like you said, that was the housemates, the fault of the housemates. But do you think there are things that you can do that people can learn from just by watching it?
So I do think there are things that people can learn from when watching the show. I think there's so many different things that people can learn from, how to deal with very intense situations like disagreements, how to deal with a disagreement if you walk away, if you lose your temper, if you raise your voice. I think there are different things, and I also feel that there are different things on TV. Like, for example, with information learning and trying to understand stuff, I would watch Arise, like we're on Arise right now, I'd watch Arise. So I don't necessarily think people need to watch Big Brother for that. I think they can watch Big Brother strictly for entertainment.
Yeah, but you can maximize the mileage because of the large audience
because of the large audience, yeah, for sure. I think they're trying. They're trying, but I think the personnel on the show are like, we also have a job to do that. So I think the personnel is super important.
Before I finish with you two very handsome men. If I was 30 years younger, hey!
These days it doesn't matter.
Anyway, heading for a short break, but stay with us. Perspectives will return in just a moment while we bring in Erica. Welcome back to Perspectives. So now we're being joined by Nlewedim, a multi-talented model, actress, philanthropist, and entrepreneur who has quickly become one of Nigeria's most sought-after social media sensations. Her rise to fame skyrocketed when she captivated audiences as a standout housemaid on Big Brother Naija Lockdown, where her vibrant personality and undeniable charm left a lasting impression. Today, Erica continues to dominate the spotlight, making waves both on and off screen. Erica, I heard one or two things about your stay in Big Brother house. So now, in between two very handsome men, come another beautiful lady. So you came prepared.
Thank you.
You know, for my hand at all. So let me get back to you. I know that your time in the house was there was one or two controversies, but I'm not here to talk about what happened in the house.
Yes.
I'm here to talk about life outside the house after you've been there. So how have you managed this sudden fame and attention from fans and media? What was the most unexpected thing that you experienced when you came out of the house?
I did not expect to have so many fans, honestly, because people always say, oh, they don't really like the soft girls or the pretty girls, like you have to be Raz or something. And and I honestly thought I was boring. So when I came out and I was like, oh my God. So I think it's just the fame. I did not expect that level of fame. And it was a bit of struggle, but I think after 1 year, I got used to it.
So what was the misconceptions people had about you based on your stay in the show?
Honestly, there's a lot. And I really don't want to keep talking about the misconceptions. Because that's their opinion and I want to focus on positive things, honestly.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So but do you feel a certain pressure to act a certain way just because of who you are?
I used to feel a pressure, but I was always very stubborn. So I used to fight against that pressure until I just decided that, why am I giving attention to things like this, So I had to just be me and stop focusing on other people.
Oh, that's interesting. So that was the way you could handle the the stress and what have you. That's good.
Yes.
But let me start with you, Shegun. What advice would you give somebody thinking of going into Big Brother house? From the experience that you've had, and how should they prepare themselves for life after the show?
I think it's important to have a plan of who you want to be, how you want to be, how you want to approach things, how you potentially want the world to approach you. You can't really know how people are going to take you in, but you can kind of like have an idea from previous housemates at this point because there's been so many seasons. And I think like just in general, I think also keep your feet on the ground and be realistic, set realistic goals, realistic expectations. I think sometimes people think I go on this show, my whole life is going to change and I'm going to be a billionaire. It doesn't work like that. So yes, people in Nigeria are going to know you. You're going to go on this show. When you come out, what are you going to show us? Why is a company giving you, for example, 50 or 100 million naira because you went on a TV show? No, you're going to have to come outside, work really hard, prove yourself, and then get to that point. So don't look at the people that you think have been on the show and are successful and think they got lucky. They didn't get lucky. Okay. They might have gotten lucky from going on the show, but coming out, they had to work to get to where they were.
Exactly. Which brings me back to you, Uti, because if you think about it, having been able, you have been there, what, 10 years, 15 years? 14 years. Having been able to maintain...
16.
Well, you can cut the age. But how have you been able to maintain long-term success? Because even up to today, your name still resonates. Meanwhile, there's some other people that have come after you and nobody remembers who they are. So what edge did you have that you used to maximize this mileage you still have?
Honestly, if you ask me, I'll say I don't know. For me, I just take it one day at a time. I keep myself young at heart. Before going on the show, I was a huge fan of the show. I am still a huge fan of the show. And like I said, work, Jara helped me. I was on TV for 11 years straight. Do you understand? Movies helped me. I starred in movies and I consistently host shows even till tomorrow. I'm hosting weddings, I'm hosting pageants, I'm hosting dinners, I'm hosting red carpets, I'm hosting different kinds of functions. And for me, it's all about, so when I say being aware of the trend, I'm not saying that whole desperation thing of trying to stay relevant. No, I mean like I have friends of in different age groups. I have Gen X friends, I have Boomer friends, I have Millennial friends, I have Zillennial friends, and I have Gen Z friends.
I didn't know they had so many names, so many titles.
Oh no, the Zillennials are the younger Millennials.
So which one is okay?
Boomers are above
generation.
then there's Gen X, then there's Millennials, then there's Zillennials, and then there's Gen Z.
Okay, millennials are what age?
Between millennials
and Gen Z. So it's not official. It's very unofficial.
Okay,
so for me, these people also keep me young and they help me stay fresh and all of that. Even with fashion, even how you talk and what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. I think back in the day, Nigerians used to be like, who are you? Why must I respect you if you're younger than me? You know? And not respecting that, okay, you can't say certain things. Like back in the day, I'm sure a lot of people will feel they had the right to tell Erica how to dress. But now we know it's very inappropriate for you to go and say, just because you're older than Erica and say, young lady, why will you be wearing something that is tight? You know, things like that. It's just culture, respect for social culture, not necessarily societal culture, because we know that is flawed right now. But yes, it's flawed.
Yes,
Societal culture is flawed.
That's a topic for another day. But
There's a topic for another day. So that, for me, I guess in all honesty, taking one day at a time, and I've just stayed very conscious, very intentional. I've worked on myself mentally, spiritually, and I am grateful. I stay grateful every single day. Every single job I get, I feel, I've trained myself to feel like that's the first job I've gotten since the show.
Oh, that's good. So let me get to Erica. So is that the same for you? How have you been able to also stay relevant in the entertainment industry?
So
that also applies to you, Shegun, but let Erica go first.
So the number one thing is just keep yourself in people's faces. So for me, I planned it that at some point I would need to rest. I can't be going for every event. I can't be doing movies or all of that back to back. Now, what will allow me rest is to have my face out there without me actually working, without my physical presence. So I decided to go for the big brands that will put my face on billboards. And so even if I'm taking a break for 1 year, as long as you're passing Ozumba, you still my face, different states. Some people keep sending me all those trucks that have like those drink trucks. They have my face. So yeah, people, and then obviously past movies I shot, they're releasing them like 1 year later. So you've been
there but not there. As in your physical presence has not been there, but you've kept yourself.
Yes, and the only reason why my physical presence will not be there too much is also you don't want them to get tired of you. They see, you don't want to see finish.
Okay, so there is the overkill.
Yes.
Can you talk more on that?
I think for me it was just important to be authentic, be different. I wanted to bring like a different vibe to like Nigeria, like something that people hadn't seen before, so they can't really say, oh, he's like this or he's like that. Of course, learning from people that have done it before.
So what kind of things did you, or what are you doing now?
Just being myself, to be honest. Just being myself. I think honestly, like I also think I have great people around me. I think it was very important for me to listen and open my ears. So like my manager, for example, she has been doing this for about 20, 25 years. So I think for me it was like not thinking that I knew it all and actually listening and taking each day as it comes. And also, like as he said, I think being grateful for every single step that I take and learning from my mistakes and knowing that you can't stop. Like I think people get complacent and they start getting like, it's like what Erica said, I'm gonna take a break. And she's not really taking a break because she's on billboards everywhere. Do you know what I mean? So I think some people actually take real breaks and sit at home and it's like, we're young, this is not the time to sit at home. Like, you really have to keep working, like new stars are being born every single day. So I think...
Not everybody can take a break even me, I had to take a break 4 years later.
Exactly, exactly. So I'm like 2.5 years in, like I can't take a break right now. Like I feel like it's work mode and it's just constantly like delivering.
Okay, let me ask Erica, because I'm going to ask you one particular question. Do you feel, and I've asked you before that you feel it needs to maintain a certain image for your followers, but how have your fan base played a role during and after your stay? Like what are the kind of things that you got when you left the house?
So my fans bought me time. So usually the one thing that people get scared of is being famous and broke. When you come out, everyone's like, oh my God, Erica. Like before Big Brother, I used to walk into Chicken Republic or just the regular places to eat. And then I'll go in and everyone's like screaming. So I knew that I couldn't go to certain places.
Oh, so you go in and they will all start,
Yeah, I did that in the first few days. And I had to be like, okay, I can't try that again. But Also, I now decided, okay, I had to start packaging myself like a celeb. And that puts unnecessary pressure because when I wear certain things, they start breaking down the price of things. Erica wore this bag. The bag cost so million. That. I'm like, okay. If you let stuff like that get into your head, you can start living above your means and start being forced to do certain things that you're not supposed to do just to keep the money or keep that image. So one thing I'm very grateful for is that, first of all, I'm very strong-minded. I don't really... In fact, I started repeating clothes intentionally, just so that, because some people will be like, Eric, you're not behaving like a celeb. You can't, why are you wearing this? Celebs don't wear clothes twice. I'm like, do you wear clothes twice? I would wear clothes twice. You didn't buy it for me.
That's a very good message
like
to send
that.
across.
Also, there was a balance. I was stubborn, but I didn't let other people get into me, get into my head. But also, I got certain things that allowed me, chill and still present myself like a celeb, because like my fans bought me a house. So I would have had to choose between buying a house or buying a nice car. But because I already had a house...
They actually bought you a house?
They bought me a house. So because I already had a house, usually you're not supposed to buy...
Was this before you came out?
No. My first birthday. So usually like if you're buying a fancy car, people expect that you have at least twice that money in your account or at least that investment. But my fans bought me time. So I was able to buy a nice car and not have to choose, invest or buy a car, stuff like that. So I was still able to show, like, okay, the celeb life, but I was still being wise about it.
That's good. Because you have to know how to maximize.
And that's one thing that a lot of people have not really been able to do, because if you don't show off, they will think you're not popping, and a lot of
how do you find a balance?
Yes, a lot of big brands might not approach you because you're not popping. They want the people who are popping. So a lot of people chase clout to trend, or they do a lot of things that they're not supposed to do to get money.
Some form of controversy just to get the people to smile.
Yes. So, but the one thing people should know is that you should work first before you start showing off. That is the one thing. Just like what? It's not everybody that will be blessed to have 1 million fans like me, or like, and it doesn't mean there are some people that maybe 4 years later, that's when they blow properly. It even works better for them because they're able to, when you walk towards something and you climb gradually, you're able to maintain it slow
and steady.
Yes, and a lot of people like me that got a lot of fans immediately. Some of them were not able to maintain it because it's a lot. Mentally. So some people can just crash and burn. But you should block out the noise, walk towards the level you want to be.
Because that brings me to you, Uti. It's been said that some reality shows often experience profound feelings of isolation and loneliness once they return to their everyday lives. So looking back, just like Erica just said, what personal changes did you experience? Did you go through downtimes, and what did it feel like when you went through it?
Well, of course, everyone goes through downtimes.
I mean, depression.
Depression. So I feel like you have to be clinically diagnosed to call it depression, because we all have times where we're sad, where we're not feeling like ourselves, where you're, having an out-of-body experience. For me, my saving grace is I've never bought my own hype. I don't believe in, and this is the generational difference I keep talking about, I don't believe in celebrity packaging, because I feel like that is unnecessary pressure. For me, maybe because of the fact that I grew up in, I was born in Ugeli, grew up in Sapele, schooled in Benin, and Edo Delta has a way of humbling you. Now. So then, even if you come with your 1 billion, they say, you be with your money, package yourself, come off for a road. Yeah. It was all about personality, so your character. Grounded. So I stayed grounded. Yeah. I don't need to show you guys that I am popping. I don't need to show you that I have this or I have that. That's unnecessary pressure. There's Uti Nwachukwu and there's Sir Uti. If Sir Uti is not enough for you, I'm sorry.
What's the difference between both?
Uti Nwachukwu is me, my personal life, my safe zone, my sanctuary. That's the part of me I reserve for myself, my close friends, and my family. You understand? Sir Uti is the personality figure. And what is my brand selling? Kind of yes, it's my alter. Sir Uti is my alter ego. What is Sir Uti selling? Sir Uti is selling humor with some of my, if you follow my Instagram, on my story, I'm always posting funny things. Sir Uti is inspirational. I'll inspire you to get better as a human being. Sir Uti will post fashion. But that doesn't mean that every day I have a runway in my house. I'm like, walk, fashion, you know? That's not who I am.
There are quite
inside.
a few of those, actually.
You understand? But me, I'm at home. I'm probably wearing some pants that are 4 years old with one raggedy t-shirt because that's what's comfortable to me. So when I come out, I will dress it. And like she said, I repeat my clothes. That's your business. Like this outfit, I used it for
but
a
this
photo
not
shoot.
being able to repeat outfit thing. It's such an expensive venture.
Yeah, those are the, yeah.
No,
Those
it's mostly event outfits.
Exactly.
And those are the
When you
very
wear it,
expensive ones.
are you going to straight away?
so,
I mean,
so if I wear it for a big
you must get
event,
some mileage from
yeah, I can wear it for someone's birthday
Yeah,
or
or
someone's
someone's
church
wedding or
or whatever.
something,
So no one's
yeah.
going to. So the first thing I told myself,
No, but
I
because
used
you
to-
guys are supposed to be superstars.
I said, well, who made it? Who made those rules? So I can tell you that as a fan, you are supposed to bow down to me. What are you going to say to me? You the Chris, you be God? Exactly. So are you God? How dare you dictate how I live my life?
Exactly.
Love my
But
work.
you'd be amazed how many people actually live by that rule.
Exactly.
Not using outfits.
So love my work, and if my lifestyle doesn't appeal to you, there's nothing I can do about it. The people who love me will love me regardless.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
Which is leading up to that question of loneliness. Now, yes, it does get lonely to the point, not because, oh, I'm so unloved or, oh, there's nobody around me, but because of the major rule of trust. You cannot
just gonna
trust
say that,
everybody.
yeah.
There are different people that come into your life, and people are such pretenders. And only after a couple of months, sometimes, some people even pretend for years before they show their true color. And that does a number on you. If I've had to go for therapy in 2018, I had to, because I started to behave like a madman who was suspecting everybody. Who, like, I might be chatting with you, and you know sometimes when you're trying to reduce the volume on your phone, and your finger is on your shutter, and then maybe you mistakenly take a screenshot, or maybe like an app that, you know, and then I would go crazy. And it would be like, why are you taking screenshots? You know, what do you want to use the screenshots for? Yeah, so, you know, things like that.
So you became paranoid, basically.
You will become paranoid. And sometimes you're talking to somebody, you don't know who's on the other side
Or
of
who
the
is
phone.
even recording, I mean, like what just happened recently.
So those are the things that make you very paranoid. And you get to a point where you don't want to date, you don't want to have no friends, you just want to keep to yourself and your family members that you can trust. Wow. Yeah, so yeah, you
We've had this
will.
conversation, right?
Yeah.
We've had this conversation.
So have you experienced this as well?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I'm 100% paranoid. Like, even right now, to be honest, I don't really speak to people that I'm not sure of. Like, I have to be really, really sure
But
of
have you experienced any form of betrayal?
I think most definitely. I think on like the highest scale that if we sat here to speak about it, we'll be here till tomorrow.
Are you serious?
Yeah, like it was awful. So I think for me, like I'm super careful, like super, super careful. Like I have to trust you so much to have certain conversations. I think you said I should go for therapy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what she said.
you
She
serious?
said I should go for therapy.
Oh, you went for therapy as well?
You have to.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You
so
will
it's tough.
literally lose it.
Yeah.
You have to. You have to. And I found out other
And
things
nobody
about
knows
myself.
about this until you've worn those shoes.
Yeah.
No, you would- that's why
you won't
it's-
understand it.
It's so
like,
annoying when people come out and tell you, why did you do this? Why did you talk? Why did you not talk? I'm like, yo, wear my shoes, then you can now come and tell me how to talk or
So
not
you mean
talk.
even up till now, you people are still walking on eggshells to a certain extent?
You have to.
avoid any
You
form
have
of...
to.
But how has this affected your friendships and even relationships with your family?
I think with my family it's okay. I think with,
Yes.
with a lot of my friendships, like not in a positive manner, because my friends have changed and I've changed as well. So like what I would do before I wouldn't do now, what I would take before I wouldn't take now, I'm more careful because this is how I earn money, this is what I do for a living. And another thing that I realized, to actually throw it away from me being paranoid, I started to realize that when you're a public figure, people instantly threaten you.
Yeah.
So if I'm sat here now and maybe I do a bank transfer and because of network, it's taking 30 minutes or an hour, my team or me, like not personally, because somebody would deal with it for me, just to even give me that wall, that barrier between me and whoever's on the other side, you instantly get a text of, oh, is it not Shakes's team? This needs to be sorted in the next 10 minutes, if not, it's going online.
Are you serious?
Yeah, all the time. So we don't even do business with people that we don't trust, people that are not sane, people that are like going to be doing like, and I'm sure you guys have been through that, do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's very, very crazy. So
It's part of the
like,
paranoia.
it's just crazy. Like, so you're just paranoid all the time. You don't want to get too close to anybody because you don't want anybody to be, you don't want to wake up on Instablog, to be honest.
So but how do you now
You get to the
control,
point.
because this is now a conversational, table chat. How do you guys now manage negative publicity? How do you control the press?
You simply just
How do
don't
you manage
respond.
it?
You don't respond unless
Even if a lie has
it's
been
an
told against you and it's not true.
There was a time, before we went on air, I said there was a time someone, released something silly about me. This was in 2012, and I went for an interview on some platform. And I remember I was still in that phase of trying to prove I am a good person, I'm not a bad person, And I remember there were topics that they told me not to touch on. And so when the interviewer would ask me, I tried to deflect until it was like straight on boom. And I remember I reacted so emotionally. And when I saw the clips afterwards, I'm like, no, this can't go on. You have to take this part out. And when she watched it, she was like, yeah, it also makes me look bad. So she took that out. It's just a learning curve for me. And I would say the blessing it has, because for every curse, there's a blessing. Yeah. For me, the blessing is that the people that have been stand-up G's and girls in my life, they are stand-up to the core. Our friendships and relationships have been tested to the point where we now know, this is my person. These are my people. These are my tribe. Yeah, so the close friends are now really close. Like when the Bible says a friend that's closer than a brother. And then the ones, it sharpens your intuition in the sense that I don't even need to know you for 3 months. There are certain things or moves you make,
so
you just know that.
You have put in place to
yes, you just know that. I don't just know you for up to 3 months. I know what you're most likely going to do. So I just say, this one, and then people come back, which you be with you? How did you know that this person was going to be with you? I say, because you just know, it's called patterns of behavior. That's why sometimes stereotyping is not such a bad thing. It will help you. So I know stereotyping has such a negative connotation to it. But the reason is a stereotype is because more often than not, that pattern of behavior suits this pattern of personality.
But we're talking about that. What about your relationships? I mean, have any of you had serious relationships since?
They are the lovebirds.
Okay, how has she been able to cope? Why are you laughing?
No, they played love in the house now.
That's true.
He's the one in everything.
That's true. You guys might like them now.
No, not different seasons.
No,
but I get why you think.
Different seasons.
So in the show, both of you had lovers. Boyfriends and girlfriends.
Sure.
Okay, so what happened in your case? Are you still together?
Yeah, we're still together, like two and a half years, still together.
Oh, I love love. Okay, so she too also understands the pressure and understands what it takes to be in the limelight and whatever. Yeah, so it hasn't in any way affected your relationship?
No, I think most definitely it has affected our relationship.
It has or it hasn't?
It has.
Why? But she's worn the same shoes as you.
No, not necessarily negatively. It just affected it in we've had to learn different things, different ways to deal with what we go through, coping mechanisms and stuff like this. So I think for us, even earlier this year, I think at the start of this year, we probably didn't post a photo together for 6 months. And I think that just came from a place of, look, I don't have a deal with my partner. We're not in business together. So she has her own deals and I have mine. So it was you're doing good alone and I'm doing good alone. And we really love each other. So we need to make sure this works in real life, not that it works on the internet and it looks good on the internet. So let's actually do the things that we need to do to make sure that we can do this for a very, very long time. So, and I think that was important to do just because sometimes you get caught in the, if I post a picture by myself, I probably do, I don't know, 50,000 likes. If it's a great day, I might do 70 to 100. If I do one with my girlfriend, it's probably going to be 200K and above, but I don't want that to be my brand. I just want to be said myself. Yes, I want my relationship to be something else. I don't want my relationship to be why I'm in business.
Have there been many love stories from Big Brother? No, we're getting back to you. So in your own case, you had a relationship.
Yeah, I did.
Are you still together?
We're friends.
Okay. Is it friends or just
No. We're
friends?
very this is my brother now.
Because I've always wondered. Because I've always wondered whether some relationships in the house can stand the test of time when they leave the house.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because there's so much focus, so much attention, and then sometimes people have to ask this. Sometimes being in the house, do you find that some people just cause rancor? Cause controversy just to gain more popularity.
Of course.
So that means you're saying that.
What? Some people look at the camera and start displaying.
Okay, so are you saying now that what you do in the Big Brother house is not really a reality of your true character?
It's
It is for some of us.
half and half.
Yeah, for some
Half and
of us.
half.
Okay,
us
why
it
do you
is.
say half and half?
Because for someone like me now, I did not go there prepared like with the script and there's some other people went there
With a script.
they've studied the show for like years and then they went there, okay, this one works for this person, so I'll do this, I'll do that. Yeah, so it's half and half.
Yeah, but you believe some people too can go the extra mile, maybe have a affair or fight with
Of course.
somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Some people
Of
go in with a
course.
script.
sure.
Yeah.
Some people go in with a script.
sure.
At my time, I was a mad 25 to 27-year-old man. So I was still finding myself then, like I said, coming from Edo Delta. So,
You
it
mean
was
you
culture
don't
shock.
see any worry girl for your own episode?
It was Africa I went for, and I was the only Nigerian then. So
Yeah,
it
but
was
you
such
could
a
have
culture shock
Yes,
for
okay.
me. For me, I was just like, why is everyone so sensitive? Because we're not very sensitive people
Yes, that's
back
true,
home.
that's
So for me, it was culture shock.
I
was like,
remember your own particular.
Yes, you don't say for worry. If you tell a person go talk to you, I get out, go there, and they'll say you to go there, goat, and you can start laughing the next minute. But in my season, I'll say, don't talk to me, go there. They'll go to the diary room and be like, he wants to kill me. He told me to die. I'm like, so it was. I really had a lot of unlearning to do. Like I was like, okay, you can't just speak like you are a Wafi or Safi boy anymore.
Yeah.
You have to arrange yourself in one kind of way before they will just X you for no reason.
Okay.
And and you're just being authentic.
Yes, true. Another thing I want to bring up is that, like I was saying to you earlier on YouTube and Shex before Erica came, is that there's some people that were not even winners, but today they've done so well.
Thank you.
Do you understand?
Thank you.
Winners that are really like it's the test of time.
Yes, all of you have done well. But the truth of the matter is, what is that staying power that makes some just fade, that some lack, that they just fade into oblivion? Because I'm sure if I tell you to name the winners of all the Big Brother episodes that we have had, you probably will not be able to read off all the names.
Because I mean,
Can you read off all the names off head?
I definitely can't.
Exactly.
I can't.
No, me, I can't.
And it's such a strong brand that every winner of each episode or each series should be remembered. Do you understand? So what is it that you? Yes.
so
What is the cutting edge that you guys have?
I'll say there's
that
no
you
rule.
have-
I'll say there's no rule to life. It's just like saying just because you are old, you must be successful. Or just because you are alive, you should live till old age. Shex and I also talked about this backstage.
No, but you can use the mileage. that
Yes,
you
but
have.
there's grace. See, two of us can do, and I told him.
Yeah,
you remember what I
we
said?
just spoke about
we just
grace.
spoke about it.
Yeah.
Grace.
Oh, there's grace.
Two of us can
There's
enter this same building. He's dressed in a tank top with baggy shorts and slippers. Me, I'm wearing Gucci, Fendi, Prada, Versace, everything. And then he steps in and his ovation will be higher than me that has packaged. So there's grace. There's just that natural grace. Grace has a huge role to play because there are a lot of artists that are hugely talented and they have not come to fame. And there are some that will jump on the beat and say, hello, and they are the best-selling artist of the year. And you on this side, you're like, but you can't fight that. You
I
can't.
also think that if you stand for everything, you stand for
For
nothing.
nothing.
So I think sometimes one thing I've learned in my short time so far is that the no's you say are as important as the yeses. So for my brand, I know what works for my brand. I know what my brand, what works for us really, myself and my people, and we try and stick to that. We might sometimes venture out, but I think sometimes when you come out of there, because it's like the light is red before you go into Big Brother. Whilst you're in the house, it's amber. And then when you come out, it's green. So
I like that.
people are pulling you left, right, and center. So me, for example, I'm not a model. They would pull me and be like, oh, come model, come do this, come do that. And my manager had to sit me down and she's like, look, you used to play football, so we're gonna do sports. I think you dress really well, we're gonna focus on fashion. I think you speak well, and you're well educated, so we're gonna work with tech companies. And that's our box.
Okay, so having a good manager to also help.
If you're willing to open your ears and listen. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because some people, they get advised and they don't listen to anything.
listen.
So I think people try and do everything, and I don't think you can do everything. I think you have to have your lane, and that will you'll be successful.
Okay, that's good.
What's your strategy?
Personality, so it's like not everybody can be a good singer. Not everybody can have an engaging personality. That's just it's your talent.
Yes.
Like for me, I think that's my talent.
What's your talent?
My personality.
Your personality. Miss Personality.
You have a good personality, though.
She does have a
Yeah,
good
she has a
personality. That's why we wanted to die for her when she was on the show.
Exactly. Anyway, we're heading for a short break, but stay with us on Perspectives. We'll be right back soon in a minute. Welcome back to Perspective here on Arise News. So I have to say to you three very interesting guests that I've had today. I have to thank you for being here with us on Perspective.
Thank you.
And continue to shine the lights for other housemates. Thank you for being with us on Perspective this morning.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let's get back to Africa's fashion industry is poised for substantial growth, driven by its rich cultural heritage, vibrance, creativity, and abundant raw materials. The Creative African Nexus Program, CANEX, serves as Afrexim's bank's strategic framework devised to foster the expansion and advancement of Africa and its diaspora's creative and cultural industries. Joining the show live from Paris to speak on how CANEX is promoting the African fashion industry is Arise Entertainment correspondent Kachi Ofia. Hello, Kachi. How are you?
Hello, I'm fantastic. I'm very well, thank you.
Okay.
How do you do?
I'm fine, thank you. So walk us through what has been happening in Tranoï, Paris. What are the challenges that have...
Well, it's been really interesting here in Tranoï. It's been a fashion experience, I would say. Now, as you correctly mentioned, everything that's happening here with Canex is basically to just push that African fashion brands forward. But even beyond fashion, the whole idea of the Creative African Nexus is a Frexim Bank's way of pushing and facilitating further progress within the creative and cultural industries that we have in Africa. As we already know, these industries, as popular as they are incredibly beneficial to our creative economy. However, there are constraints, there are restraints as well. So one of those major restraints has to do with the finances, lack of access to opportunities, proper industry markets as well. Accessing these spaces are very, very difficult. So that's exactly what Canex is. It's bridging the gap between the creators and then their possible, I would say, consumers of their creativity, you know. And here at Tranoï, it's actually, you know, a space where we have at least 20 different designers from across Africa, and there's 3 exclusive designers as well that showcased just yesterday at a very, very interesting runway show. It was a Tranoï runway show, and this was part of the Paris Fashion Week program. So this was, you know, an event like none other. So from the exhibition to the fashion shows, there's really something for every single designer that is here today. For the exhibitors, of course, we're looking at a lot of them literally making orders on their outfits, which is really what this is about. It is putting them in spaces where they will get to meet these international markets because they've done the work, they've met the standards, and now, apart from being a beautiful brand, it's time to make some money as well. Back to you, Ruth.
Designers that were selected to be on the official Paris Fashion Week calendar. Who were the designers that were selected? Can you hear us? Can you hear me, Kachi?
I'm struggling to hear you, Ruth.
Okay, I said, talk to us about the designers that were selected to be on the official Paris Fashion Week calendar. What designers are we using?
Yes, this...
Hello, Kachi, can you hear me?
Well, if I heard you correctly, because I'm struggling to hear what you said. Like I said, this is part of the calendar, but it was specifically the Tranoï runway show. But that is just one part of everything that we've seen happen today and yesterday as well. Today there won't be a fashion show, but there of course is the exhibition that I'm currently in the middle of. As you can see, there's so many people around. There are people who are looking to buy. Obviously not buy on the go. People are looking to make orders, as many as they possibly want from around the world. You have people from different continents here meeting with these African designers to say, we want some of your pieces, we want to take it to where we are. There's a designer just down the hallway, her name is Judy Sanderson, and she's very excited. She's just said, oh, I've been selling, people are making orders. Now it's important to know that people are not here to sell their items off the rack. A lot of the outfits we're seeing here are the Spring-Summer 2025 collections that these designers have specifically created for this event. Now, after this event, we will see them then make these outfits in multiples for Judy Sanders. She said her collection would only be ready in March. So people are not coming here to look at a nice outfit and buy. I mean, I think the only designer doing that is Adele Dayak, whose jewelry I am currently adorned in. You can actually buy off, well, most of the designers here are not selling off the rack. They're basically meeting with these buyers, and it's not just one piece, it's multiple pieces, and that's what makes this really, really special.
Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me clearly? Okay. So what are some of the challenges that have fostered the need for this partnership between Canex and African designers?
Can I hear?
You can't hear?
I'm sorry. Yes, could you please say that again?
I said, what are some of the challenges that have fostered the need for this partnership between Canex and African designers? Did you hear that?
Oh, there's a lot of them. I mean, if we're going to just take Nigeria as a case study, I can hear you perfectly well. If we're going to just use Nigeria as a case study, we have a vibrant creative economy. And a creative economy across film, across music, and fashion as well. But the major problem is for the fashion industry, these are all small businesses. So after the fashion shows, after creating these collections, how do you export this creativity to a larger audience beyond the local market? That is the main problem. How do
Have we lost her? Okay. I think we've lost Kachi there, but we get a general idea of what she has said to us so far, and we just hope. Okay. Thank you so much, Kachi, for being with us. But it's a pity we lost you. So going back to reality, life after reality shows, you must realize that when the initial burst of fame fades, audiences gravitate towards individuals who remain true to themselves and their values. By staying grounded, you build trust and loyalty that lasts longer than fleeting popularity. In a world where trends change rapidly, authenticity serves as a foundation for long-term relevance, allowing you to evolve while maintaining a core identity that resonates with your audience. And always remember, like I keep saying, life is a learning curve. So that's all we have time for today. You've been watching Perspectives here on Arise News with me, Ruth Osime. Goodbye for now. See you next week.